Hey everybody, you are tuning into the Canary Cry News Talk live stream pre-stream. You're here early. Good job. We're about to get the show started. I have no idea how soon. I'm waiting for my timer to load, but we're gonna get going soon. Prodigal Hegelian and Dadalorian. We have the Philosophy Club here in the show. Thank you for being here over there on YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, DLive. Hey, man, everybody's here. Ghostronauts in the house. Okay, cool. Well, here we are. Second day in a row. 2 show days in a row. It's crazy. I know. I don't know how we do it. We're working hard, man. It's time to make the donuts. But remember, go to CanaryCry.Party to find all the resources you need to get connected, stay connected, and reconnected. I don't know what that means. But if you're here, if you're new to the show because you found us, I don't know, through No Agenda or something, thanks for being here. Yeah, yesterday's show was wonderful. So we're happy you're here. All right, well, we're going to get the show started. I don't know, you know the thing. Let's do it. Stay hydrated.
The world is getting crazier. People are acting more and more insane. The end of the world is tomorrow. Tomorrow. There's only one thing to do when the world is falling apart. Listen to Basil and Gonz as they discuss this week's news and events through the lens of Bible prophecy.
You are listening to Canary Cry News Talk.
You're listening to Canary Cry News Talk. We are live to tape on April 11th, 2022. This is episode number 470. And today, it's the Billy Gates of happiness. And Razzle Dazzle, I'm your best buddy, Basil.
And my name is Gonz, your favorite Asian provocateur for Christ. Welcome to the podcast where we bring you the best news, which is the gospel message of Jesus Christ, while reporting the egregious with a well-rounded, biblically grounded take on world events. And we are back to back days podcasting, which is crazy.
Back to back. Dun, dun, dun.
Are we going to three-peat? Probably not.
No, we are not. I have things I got to do tomorrow, but we're happy. This is a good experiment. This is our second show day in a row. Thank you, everybody who made it out to yesterday's Sunday show, our Palm Sunday show, over there on the No Agenda stream, as well as all of our regular broadcasting locations. And if you are new and listening to this show now, maybe for the very first time because of our appearance over there, welcome. I think you're going to love it. It's going to feel familiar, yet new, all at the same time. And with that, Gonz, I want to give a little bit of a rundown for what people are to expect. Of course, we're checking back in with Ukraine and Russia. We've got a mind control update. Ooh, what could that be? Some beast system goo robots that we've got some more background on the goo robot, the black goo robot. Of course, your FLIPPY update. You'll hear more about that. Bill Gates makes quite the impression in this show. Elon and some Twitter, I don't know, unexpected
drama.
Surprises.
Yeah.
Yes, drama. And of course, in the second part of the show, you YouTubers, you're going to need to find another place to watch or listen to the show because we got a bunch of COVID and vaccine stuff we got to talk about, and YouTube doesn't like that. And, last but not least, we got a Chris Shilzilla update and some metaverse news. So stick around, but let's start out with our lead story, Gonzo.
Fight for Ukraine. New world order.
Russia. The tensions continue, Basil, and the drama.
Oh my gosh.
The movie that is Ukraine versus Russia continues to play out. And
Can I start out? You've got a wonderful clip and some stories to go through. It's not easy, Gonz.
No.
You know this, but just so everybody else out there knows, it is not easy to find any information or articles about the Ukraine-Russia thing that literally isn't just a repeat of Zelenskyy wants more guns. Zelenskyy asks U.S. for guns. Zelenskyy asks the UN for guns. It's just article after article of this guy asking for guns. They can't find anything more interesting.
There was one headline.
Says.
There was one headline I saw that was like, "Oh no, Kiev expecting another Russia attack. They're going to run out of artillery. Like, it'll be the last time they'll be able to defend themselves."
If we were live streaming and just every episode we just start out by asking people for guns, like we would be put on so many lists. I don't know what it is with this guy. We're
probably already on the FBI.
Yeah, we'd be on more lists.
But more lists. So, a lot going on. Hard to parse out exactly what's happening. Zelenskyy met with the EU last Friday, I believe. Got some footage of that. But there was a sit-down with Al Jazeera that Zelenskyy did. It was published this morning, at least out here in the West. And, it was a 4 or 5 minute thing. I clipped it down to a minute here because the interviewer asks Zelenskyy what an actual solution would look like.
There would be some specific agreements that will make...
This is the translator, by the way. I made the point before, too, Basil. He speaks understandable English. I don't know why he doesn't...
Zelenskyy.
Zelenskyy, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, this is an opportunity to kind of bring it up. Putin also knows perfect English, but it's sort of a nationalist type of thing to not speak English, to always use a translator.
Especially in media.
So I imagine with the proximity of Zelenskyy and Putin in Russia and Ukraine that it's kind of a cultural thing. It's like, yeah, we know English, but like we're not going to speak the language of the West for whatever.
Right.
So that it's one thing that Zelenskyy and Putin kind of have in common.
Right. Okay. So this is the interpreter interpreting the answer to the question about what kind of solutions or what a solution would look like.
There would be some specific agreements that will make sure that Russia will clearly not want to violate our sovereignty and territorial integrity, not launch any other invasion against Ukraine. We are ready to be a non-bloc state. We were a non-bloc country, non-aligned country. Other countries would be ready to guarantee our security. There's some rules, and in addition to weapons, in addition to their personal protection, there is also sanctions. So it all means that if there will be an attack against Ukraine by any country, these states, the security guarantors, will be defending us. Why are we talking about Russia as a possible security guarantor? Why? Because Russia should have a legal responsibility, because if they wouldn't be there, they wouldn't be held liable. This is what we want. This is what Russia wants. And frankly speaking, if they wouldn't be dealing with their domestic victories, we would be able to reach an agreement at this point.
Wow,
sorry, I had the bell ready for a spot, but I had the bell ready and I got completely distracted here with my daughter coming in. But a couple things. The footage shows the meeting between Zelenskyy and Ursula, the president of the EU. We'll get into that in a minute here. And it also shows Boris Johnson walking around Ukraine with
hilarious
with Zelenskyy. Zelensky's always got this like, I'm just a guy, just casual guy.
He's got his tight t-shirt on, his tight olive drab t-shirt, kind of usually wearing some heavy military boots and some cargo pants.
Yep.
And then to have Boris Johnson, his wig flying in the air, and
he's pointing at something. Look at this over there. Look at that. What is that?
That's his go-to move every single time. Just like point and mumble, point and mumble.
Look at that. Well, how's
very
that?
Effective.
How's that? Yes.
Yeah.
The other thing that was interesting was the Zelenskyy mentioning having Russia being a possible security guarantor, as to make it like, hey, you should be part of defending us against any other nation that tries to attack us or whatever. So interesting moves.
Which is it's a really interesting aspect of the whole thing, because they're talking about what would it take to have peace or whatever, to negotiate some sort of agreement. And to make the request that, like, okay, you stop killing us or whatever is happening here, and also you protect us. That sounds good to me. Okay, I think we can agree on that. But what would be in it for Putin at that point? I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, he can flex his military might, I suppose.
Right. Well, maybe he just wants, like, maybe there's a weird thing. He just wants to be Ukraine's daddy. He's
that's the thing.
I'll take care of you.
The whole Ukraine thing is so weird because they are sort of playing both sides of the whole thing. I mean, obviously, to us in the West, it's all Russia bad. But there's kind of that, like, the door left open of, like, hey, Putin, if you want to be our daddy, then we're down. We're open to that. We're open for business. So the clips coming out of Kiev and what was the other place where the EU, Ursula von der Leyen, and the other fellow here. What's the other guy's name? I forget. Let's see. European Commissioner, Foreign Policy Chief Josep Borrell in Kiev. So they met in Kiev. And I don't know if you've seen this, Basil. I think you have, actually, because we kind of talked about it beforehand. The whole day is documented. Typical politicians, world leaders meeting, friendly exchange. But there's a whole scene where they go walk around, I guess Kiev, and I guess it's Bucha, and van der Leyen is wearing, they got the vests on. She's got an umbrella for some reason. I don't know if it was raining or not. Just surrounded by soldiers with guns, right?
Yeah. And you got to watch out for snipers.
Yeah. And just the virtue signaling is amazing here. They're walking around, they're looking at stuff, and then a whole, I don't know, display of, tragedy, I guess, Ukrainian tragedy.
The bodies.
You're talking about the bodies. Yes. There is a row of dead bodies covered in plastic, or the black plastic bags on the floor.
And there's this moment where she sort of, like, turns and is, like, caught by surprise. Like, oh, goodness gracious.
Right.
She kind of clutches her pearls or whatever. And it's a beautifully done piece of propaganda.
Oh, the PR is amazing. You got cameramen everywhere.
They didn't stumble upon some bodies accidentally.
I know. Just what a weird. That's such a. I don't know. Is it maybe it's a cultural barrier thing or something where it's like, come, let me show you the dead bodies. Like, what? That is such a bizarre thing. And I mean, what other reason other than some kind of media stunt?
Oh, it's of course just a media stunt. It's PR, and it's setting the stage for whatever she does next. Whatever decision she decides to get the UN involved with is
EU,
is painted on the canvas of I went there, I saw the bodies. Right. And if you didn't know that I did that, you can see it on YouTube. I'll send you a link. The moment when I saw the bodies.
Yes.
Totally on accident. And I was very affected. So now I am making these emotional decisions to go to war or whatever she's going to do. It remains to be seen.
There's a whole, again, scene filmed where she's lighting candles for the soldiers and whatnot, and doing a whole ritual, paying homage or whatever. So it's, anytime politicians do this, you got to know it's part of the propaganda.
The theater is very well executed at this point.
Very much so.
And it's just when they put this much energy into the theater, that new things are going to happen. Speaking of Al Jazeera, Gonz, over here on AlJazeera.com, we got a headline, and we've been following the trend towards Afrofuturism, the interest that different world powers are taking specifically in Africa for so many reasons. It's rich in resources, it's underdeveloped, and there's lots of debt to be created. The debt possibilities abound. But here's this article, and it says the headline is Russia's New World Order is bad news for Africa. Uh-oh. We can't let Russia's New World Order win because then it's racist, and we need good news for Africa. So it goes like this. On March 30th, just a day after a Russian missile hit an administrative building in the port city of Mykolaiv in southern Ukraine, killing at least 12 people. Russia's foreign minister, Sergei Lavrov, made the case for the establishment of New World Order. And it sounds like what Biden did. Everybody's
declaring it, yeah.
Everybody's got their own New World Order. Interesting. Sometimes in the reporting of New World Order claims, which have become mainstream now, sometimes they capitalize New World Order and sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
In this case, because we're talking about Russia's New World Order,
you're bad.
It's not a proper noun. This is just a collection of words.
Lowercase New World Order, not the capital. NWO.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's Biden's NWO. In a videotaped message to his Chinese counterpart, Wang Yi, Lavrov claimed the world is, quote, living through a very serious stage in the history of international relations. He added, quote, we, together with you and our sympathizers, will move towards a multipolar, just, democratic world order. Love it. Russia and China bringing democracy.
Yep.
Bringing democracy around the world. Lavrov's sentiments echoed Russian President Vladimir Putin and Chinese President Xi Jinping's February 4th joint statement announcing the beginning of a new era in international relations. In that statement, the two leaders not only called for a new multipolar order, but lamented the West's, quote, unilateral approaches to addressing international issues, claiming such attitudes, quote, incite contradictions, differences, and confrontation, and hamper, quote, the development of progress of mankind. Well, I'd say that's a pretty easy statement to agree with, Gonz.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
But also, let's just call it for what it is. China and Russia, not the bastions of development and progress for mankind either.
Well, that's not quite true. Development, it depends what kind.
Yeah, we're
the Chinese did a great job of
Skynet advancement.
The Panopticon, Skynet, building entire cities, thousands of skyscrapers with nobody living in them just to demolish them 5 years later.
Yeah,
China is great at that kind of
progress, baby.
Without a doubt, this is a credible observation, especially regarding the United States' policies across the world. For example, Washington has sanctioned Zimbabwe's government, and rightfully so, for committing gross human rights abuses, but continues to support the equally repressive Ugandan government with military hardware, cash, and training. Last month, the U.S. Senate passed a resolution urging international criminal courts to investigate Putin, his Security Council, and military leaders for possible war crimes in Ukraine. Nevertheless, Washington still refuses to recognize the International Criminal Court, ICC, or cooperate in any way with its investigation into possible war crimes committed by U.S. troops in Afghanistan. The hypocrisy of the U.S. is also apparent in its approach to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict.
Al Jazeera, now, we get it. You hate the U.S. We get it.
Oh, I love Al Jazeera for this exact reason. Because everything they say is totally true.
I know.
But if you say it in here in the West, you're a crazy conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
But if Al Jazeera says it, you're just reporting the facts. Despite Israel's countless well-documented human rights and international law violations, decades-long illegal occupation of Palestinian territories, and apartheid policies against the Palestinian population, the U.S. has blocked 53 United Nations Security Council resolutions critical of Israel in the last 5 decades. And it is not only Russia and China that are disturbed by the West's apparent hypocrisy in the international arena. Africa, too, has grave concerns about the current global order and has long been calling for the UN to undergo substantial reform to address the deep-rooted injustices in its handling of international affairs. In 2005, for instance, the African Union adopted the Ezulwini Consensus, calling for a more representative and democratic UNSC, in which Africa, like all other world regions, is represented. And speaking at the 35th Ordinary Session of the AU Assembly in February, Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed renewed the call for Africa to be granted a larger role in the UN. And it goes on more and more. But you kind of get the point, right?
Yeah, I think there's kind of a resource race, I guess, and staking race for Africa and the extension Antarctica that we've been talking about.
Yeah. And it feels like some in Africa are seeing the writing on the wall that they're sort of the next.
They're next in line to be.
Yeah, target is not the right word. Right.
To the Council of World Order. Yeah.
Well, they know they got the resources. They know they got the people. They know they have the potential more than anything else.
Right.
Including popular support. You know, with the Afrofuturism. Yeah. Africa is the future. Let me read one more paragraph.
Okay.
And then we can wrap it up. In this context, it may seem understandable for Africa to support the multipolar world order Russia claims to be building with the help of China. However, Beijing and Moscow are not calling for any reform that would diminish the enormous sway they readily have over world affairs. They are also not acting in a way that demonstrates under this new order that they would hold themselves to the same standards as everyone else, or that less powerful states and peoples would have better access to justice. Indeed, as recently as in 2021, China blocked a UN Security Council statement condemning the military coup in Myanmar, and between 2011 and 2019, Russia vetoed no less than 14 UNSC resolutions on Syria. These great powers are evidently selective and casual proponents of democracy and human rights, just like their nemesis, the U.S. Al Jazeera
can't help themselves.
Putting us on par with China and Russia, which, you know what? It may sound brutal, but there are definitely points to be made about that.
Reality about it, yeah.
Yeah. But one last thing. But African nations now appear hell-bent on ignoring the hypocrisy demonstrated by Russia and China and eagerly awaiting the emergence of their new world order. So the promises being made by Russia and China seem to be pretty attractive to certain leaders in Africa.
It would be.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, they're kind of, especially like China, they're really trying to be cutting edge in a lot of technology and stuff like that. So yeah, of course.
The courting. There's this interesting moment we're seeing where there is a courting of the future. You know, Africa, it's been stated by economic, titans and political, actors and everybody. Everybody knows as far as economic growth goes, Africa is it's the vacuum waiting to be filled. It's the place with the resources, the people, the everything. And now, more than anything, not just Ukraine, but there's sort of this war fighting for the right to come in, most likely do horrible things and, tear up the continent looking for resources and take advantage of its people using economic, trickery and debt-based blah, 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 blah. But, yeah, they get to choose. Yeah. Who are you going with? You want the Putin? You want the Putin or you want the Biden?
It's funny that Africa's a free agent.
Yeah.
That's what it is, if they've used a sports analogy. Yeah. All right. Cool. Let's do this real quick here.
Mind control weapons.
So if you were hanging out in Times Square last night, you were scared. Independent.co.uk videos show mass panic in Times Square over suspected manhole explosion. Here's a report from Fox, which is interesting for those of you guys who have been listening to the show for a while. We uncovered the owner of the Independent, always just kind of something to keep in mind, who owns or has majority stake in it, republishing a Fox News report. So interesting. Here we go.
It started as a normal Sunday.
On it, just so you know, it's the son of a Russian oligarch,
KGB, former KGB.
Sorry, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
KGB spreading Fox News,
spreading Fox News. through the independent.co.uk, known as the Indy.
Love it.
Here we go.
What started as a normal Sunday night in the crossroads of the world turned into mass chaos, and the situation is still developing at
mass chaos.
Mass chaos.
This time, Fox 5's Lisette Nunez is live at the scene with the very latest. Lisette.
Good evening, Arthur. And still a heavy police presence and lots of road closures here in Times Square following this explosion. And some of the people that I spoke with who were here in Times Square say that they were scared, they were frightened, they heard a loud boom, but at first they weren't so sure what it was. I do want to get to some video that was posted on Twitter. There you can still see crowds of people running down the street. Con Ed confirmed that one manhole exploded in the Times Square area. They say this was due to cable failure. They also say a second manhole was smoking. Now, this led to an increased police presence in Times Square, officers closing down parts of 7th Avenue. The FDNY confirmed that they responded to 3 manhole fires, and firefighters did find one property on West 43rd Street that did have elevated carbon monoxide levels. Firefighters did air out the lower levels of that building, and we also got a chance to speak to people who were in Times Square when the chaos unfolded, and here's what they shared with us.
And I thought, what was that? It was a loud, it was too loud, the boom. And then right away, we turn around, and that's when people are just running for wherever.
And luckily, no injuries were reported. Okay. Also, no damage to any property. But once again, still a heavy police presence along 7th Avenue. Still plenty of road closures, and Con Ed still remains on scene.
So,
pretty suspicious, man.
Kind of weird. Don't know what's happening there, but also, like, in terms of what actually was blowing up or going on, I have my Ninja Turtles theory. You know, Donatello, Leonardo getting into a little scuffle. Or no, it was Raphael. He's the one that always caused trouble.
You can never discount the Ninja Turtles theory.
Because, you know, they'll mess around and things will happen to potholes. So I don't... What explanation... Manhole. Sorry, manhole. The one thing she said was due to cable failure or something, right? That's the only time there was one sentence about what caused or what might have caused this explosion.
Yeah, cable failure. So generic, what? And nobody knows what's going on down there anyways.
How does a cable failure make a manhole explode and people run? Plus, New York, you know, the notorious sort of literally ground zero of one of the most traumatic mind control events in our lifetime. Mm-hmm. So, you know, anytime there is any type of induced mass chaos, even at this scale, it's always something to keep in mind, especially when it's coming from New York.
You know what it reminds me of? Do you remember during the pandemic when the AT&T building
was that
exploded
Oklahoma
or something? There was a bomb or something, and you heard about it for like a day. And then it just disappeared.
People had a lot of, I can't remember all the conspiracy surrounding it.
A lot of theories. It was the hub that controlled the voting machines or whatever.
Right, the voting stuff. That's what was the hot topic. Yeah.
But that's kind of what this reminds me of. Like, it's a great reason to get people out of the area, a great reason to get the police to keep it locked down while some sort of underground operation is going on.
Right. And this isn't new. There's a clip here from last year, May of 2021, bouncing manhole cover spotted in Denver. And I like the commentary. You can see it for those of you watching. That's what you're hearing there is the bouncing manhole.
Why is it bouncing?
It needs an exorcism or something.
He stepped on the guy's saying, that manhole needs an exorcism or something.
Oh, no, yeah, I heard it. That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, weird stuff.
You just have the Donatello theory.
The Donatello, the genetically modified turtles are actually making their way into the city and fighting genetically mutated pigs and
other animals. There was, it just kind of connected for me, and maybe this is just the result of like being in this stuff for so long, but it reminded me of when the what was it? I mean, it's the government. I can't remember which agency it was. Experimented with spreading diseases through the subway and sewers of New York.
Yes, the biological weapons spread or something, right? Yeah, testing out. Yeah. Did they ever give details on that? I remember they said they were going to do it.
It's been a while since I've dived into it. I don't remember what it was, but it's okay. We got more things to talk about. Let's talk about some beast system stuff.
Speaking of the beast system, beast system.
This is coming from the South China Morning Post. Mm-hmm. We've got to have our fill of Chinese propaganda. It goes like this. Headline: How the superhero film Venom inspired scientists to create a magnetic robot slime for medical use. That's right. Don't be mistaken, folks. This is not a flippy update, but we did cover the new magnetic goo robot that is, going to save children who eat Legos and can't pass them themselves. The robot that can slither through your veins and save you from whatever. We covered that a few episodes ago, but there's some updates.
Yeah, I have stuff highlighted for this article. Do you mind if I just run through it?
Yeah, why don't you speed through it?
Because we did cover it. Like you said, we did cover it. So just the points that are new for us here. Researchers at the Chinese University of Hong Kong have developed a robotic slime that could help reduce the need for invasive surgery and help with other medical operations. The flexible jelly-like substance was partially inspired by the superhero film Venom and is made up of magnetic particles that can be controlled by external magnets. It can be stretched up to 7 times its original length, form complex shapes, or swallow and transport harmful objects. Okay,
I can do that too.
Zhang Li, a professor at Chinese University who co-created the slime robot, said he expected it could be used as a surgical tool. Quote, "It has extremely large deformation capability. It's like liquid. When you rotate the magnet, it behaves like an octopus arm to grab an object or wrap it up," Zhang said on Friday. The researchers also say it can be used with the help of a robotic arm. Quote, "We can put the magnet on the robotic arm and control the slime robot in the human digestive system by moving the robotic arm," he said. Quote, "The next step will be more challenging because we need to face a more complex environment in the human body, but it is also more meaningful."
Oh.
What does that mean? What do you mean more meaningful? It's a weird way to put that.
Yeah.
Okay. Sun said he was inspired by the film Venom. Quote, when we watched Venom, quote, "When we watched Venom, we felt that capability was what we wanted. To find something with good deformation capability as well as good adaptability to the environment," he said. We start from there to find the material and then turn it into the slime robot." So
he just literally said we watched Venom and we made the robot.
Literally. Yeah, they're like, yeah, that's good deformation capability. Let's do that.
Yeah,
good adaptability.
The movie about an interdimensional demonic slime that causes the host of which it parasitically connects to become some sort of killing machine.
Superhero monster,
with evil tendencies that, is all wrapped up in his psychotic weaknesses to be controlled. Yeah, that sounds cool, man. Why don't you just make that robot? That's awesome. And there's a connection too for those who are sort of been following us for a long time. There's, this, but the connection between robots and their possible host capabilities for disembodied spirits or something, this sounds like a great opportunity. You get this robotic black goo, you just do a little ritual, get a demon in there, and then that little demon can slither around inside your body and make it more meaningful.
There's a little bit more detail about how long this symbiotic relationship might last. Quote, "We don't expect to put the slime robot inside of a body for more than 24 hours. We hope that it can be used as a surgical tool and to take it out after the surgery. We hope it could take it out."
Yeah, hope we don't know being a really concerning keyword in that whole thing.
If the technology is promising, we can do some human experimentation in 5 years. So there you go. That's a direct influence from the Venom, just straight out of the scientist's mouth. So, yay.
Yeah, well, did my mute button just work or no?
Yes, it did. If you made a strange noise, I didn't hear it.
Yeah. I did a big cough and then panicked. So where was I going to say? Oh, we were talking about the... Yeah. Well, there you go. Nothing else to say there. But I'm not going to go into it. I'm not going to go into the programming aspect, the social engineering aspect of this. But yes, I agree with the good doctor. I hope that they can get it out.
Yeah, seriously.
All right. Well, let's take a second because, Gonz, I don't know if you knew this or not, but it is Monday.
Gary, what day is it? Monday.
Whoa. What was that all about?
Switching it up. Yeah, we've got a new contender for the Monday jingle. You got the old one handy, too?
I do.
Gary, what day is it? Monday.
That's just
both so good. Yeah, both good. A little bit more energy on the first one, but you gotta love the old one too.
Yeah, the old one's got a little more ease, like easy into the week feel, you know.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. All right. Well, here we are, folks. Thanks for being here. Gonz, do you have any sort of personal updates you want to give anybody right now?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Other than pain, physical pain. Things breaking, you know, the usual.
Yeah, so nothing
stuff.
New.
Yeah, nothing new.
Life is normal. Well, do you remember the trailer to the movie that we played on the show here?
Yes.
Everything, Everywhere, all at once.
All the time.
All at once.
Yes.
You remember? Yes. Movie, yeah. Yes. And the trailer was amazing because it, it just has so many connections. Not just with like stuff we're interested in, but also seems to baby. Sorry, we have baby attack in the studio. But it also seems to, I don't know, possibly just have been created by some other multiverse version of Basil, specifically to send me messages and get my attention. And I just went ahead and saw the movie. And I will say a few things without giving it away. I'm going to try to not overstate it, but in a lot of ways, if you want to know certain details, certain aspects of your best buddy Basil, this is maybe one of the best ways to do that. It is, as far as a movie goes, as an entertaining movie for a weird person who enjoys, multiverse stuff, kung fu, just all sorts of fun themes like that. You're going to love it. It's a masterpiece of a film, just as far as film goes. It's, if you're not into these things, you probably find it pretty boring. But if you're into these things, it is a masterpiece. It's got some pretty predictable macro themes as far as like the standard storytelling message from Hollywood right now. So you'll need to sort of turn off your social justice trigger sensors because you just will enjoy it more if you do it that way. But as far as the world that was created, excellent film. And I am pretty sure that a Basil from an alternate dimension has sent this film across space and time in order to, I don't know, just mess with me, probably. And so I recommend, if that's something you're into, go ahead and see the film. As usual, adult themes, some bad words, stuff like that. So if you're trying to avoid those things as much as possible, just don't ever go to the movies ever. But if you're okay with tolerating a couple of hours, it's not egregious. But there's some things that I don't want you thinking that I'm endorsing in there. But it's a great movie. Go check it out. I'm going to see it again, actually, because there's so much in there that I need to see and hear again in order to fully decode the message.
Yeah, if I was going to say to fully
sent from myself.
You need a transcript. You need the whole thing.
It's a great film. There you go. Okay, that's all I got. And other than that, Gonz, I think it's time.
Executive producers.
Oh, I see some people asking in the chat. It's called Everything Everywhere All the Time. And yes, it's time to thank some executive producers of the show. We are on the value for value model, if you didn't know, which means we take zero corporate money whatsoever. In fact, the corporations take our money in order to keep this show going. And no advertisements, no affiliate codes, no YouTube partnerships, no Twitch partnerships, nothing like that. And the reason is because if you're taking corporate money in one form or another, it makes it extremely difficult to stay integrous when the corporations come a-knocking asking you to, change your message. Don't cover things, cover other things, being nudged in one way or another as far as the narrative goes. Remaining brand friendly is sort of the industry term, and we're not interested in being brand friendly, which makes it very difficult to convince corporations to give us money, and we don't want it. Instead, we're on the value for value model, which is we create value, we do it 3 times a week, and if you get any value out of what we do, out of the entertainment, the analysis, the deconstruction, the reports on things you might not be hearing other places, if that brings any value to your life, at this point, we all have the personal responsibility to keep independent media alive, because if we don't do it, nobody will. And independent media has had a target on its back for a few years now, but it's only becoming more intense. And so we invite you. We invite you to become a part of the mission. And you can produce the show in lots of ways with your time, your talent, and your treasure. And those who produce the show with their treasure, we're very grateful for. And Gonz, yes. I understand there's lots of reasons for this. We did do 2 shows in a row, which makes it difficult for not just us, but also our producers to keep up. No executive producers or associate executive producers for today.
Oh, no.
Executive producer.
Wah, 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 wah. As of now, no executive producers, but if nothing else, this is a wonderful call out to anybody who has gotten any value from this show over the years, or maybe just right now. It's that time. It's that time. And here's the thing. Not every listener has to produce every show. That's not what we're asking. And we certainly want to make sure that nobody is putting themselves in, some sort of financial instability to keep the show going. But there are people out there who, perhaps you are not as affected by world events as others are. And there comes a time when it's your turn to help carry the load. So if you're interested in becoming a producer in any capacity, or especially an executive producer, we got room for you. You can be our hero by heading to CanaryCry.Radio.com/support. CanaryCry.Radio.com/support. That's right. CanaryCry.Radio.com/support. Go check it out. Become a producer. Join the family. It really is a family. Okay, there you go. I did want to take a second, Gonz. Let's call the producers real quick, if that's something you're available for. Pick up the big red phone. Hold on, let me get the big red phone.
Okay,
Where did I put that thing? Okay, here we go.
Producers, assemble!
That's right. Producers around the world. They are people who produce the show in a very special way, which is they are tasked. They're tasked, and they have picked up the charge and accepted it willingly to be sort of the prayer warriors of the Canarium, and they're very important to what goes on around here. And things are tough in so many ways: inflation, insecurity, instability, Joe Biden, just in general. And when the producers of the show are blessed, that's what. That makes it way easier to bless the show and keep the show going. So I want to put out a mass call for all the producers to pray for all the producers, and that I would really just love, the everybody listening, but the potential producers to just have an easier time. Like, let's get some prosperity going. The Lord can bless the team of producers all around the world, and I want it for them. And when they're blessed, they are more able and willing to bless the show. So I think that that's a win-win situation. What do you think, Gonz?
Sounds great. Yep, I totally agree.
And with that, talking about prosperity, Gonz, we got to check in with our favorite robotic arm.
Flippy update.
Do you want fries with that?
Indeed. It's time for the Flippy update. If you don't know, Flippy is our colloquial name for the disembodied robot arms that are taking our jobs, enslaving our children, and flirting with our spouses. We use talking about Flippy as a way to explore all the new, fun, and exciting ways that robots are taking over the world, and just how there's nothing we can do about it. I want to thank producer Mayor for sending this to our email box, because I loved it. And I'm going to just cruise right through it, Gonz, and we'll discuss it afterwards. This is coming from patch.com. The headline is Robot Helpers Join Dining Staff at Pleasanton Senior Living Community. Aw, that's nice. They got pictures here. Looks like a wonderful place. I don't know if anybody's in or around Pleasanton, but this looks like a fancy establishment for you to perhaps live out your years in ease and luxury. And it goes like this. Meet Robbie and Stony.
Okay. Robbie and Stony.
Those are two names of robots. How are they related? I have no idea. Does it seem like they just sort of picked those names out of a hat? Yes. Does it sound like somebody at the facility maybe smokes weed on their break? Absolutely. Meet Robbie and Stony. You can find the robots drifting around the dining room at Stone Ridge Creek Senior Living Community in Pleasanton, assisting the staff with their tasks. Quote, if you would have told me 2 years ago that in a senior community we would have robots and contactless dining, I wouldn't have believed it, Zachary Ziegler said. Yeah, it's almost like you should be listening to this show, Gonz, because pretty sure the first day of the pandemic, we were like, this is what's going to make the robots serve dinner in senior home communities.
This is like the little arrows on the tracks when you play Mario Kart, you know, and you speed up. That's what the pandemic was for robots.
It's the boost. Yeah, that's right. Yet Ziegler, the food and beverage director, found himself deep into nearly a year's worth of research, looking into ways to adapt his dining program to a pandemic-friendly approach. He decided to add the Servy robots, a Tesla-inspired technology, to the dining team, and also added QR codes to the menus. Look, I am very proud of this senior living facility that they have been able to teach Grandma and Grandpa how to accurately and effectively use QR codes, because that is not easy to do. The robots essentially have two modes, food runner and busser. When the chef is done preparing the food, Robbie or Stony come pick it up and take it to a table number the chef punched into the machine. The wait staff serves the food, then the robots take the dirty dishes back to the kitchen to be washed. Quote, they help the waiters save so much time by doing the running around and things they don't like to do, Ziegler said. Yeah, bussing tables.
Yeah.
Help moving food one place to another. I guarantee you, Mr. Ziegler, that those waitstaff have plenty of things that they don't like more than just moving food from one place to another. Helping with the grunt work, the robots allow for the limited waitstaff to be able to excel in what they like doing. Hospitality, giving them an additional hand in a sense. The staff has more time to communicate with the residents. Quote, they're definitely not meant to replace anybody. Wink. We need our servers. They're an integral part of what we do, and their interactions are so important, Ziegler said. For now, he mumbled under his breath with a sinister grin. Residents in senior living facilities are used to their routines changing Residents in senior living facilities are used to their routines. Changing them comes with caution. Luckily, at Stone Ridge Creek, the residents are more than ready to adjust. Quote, initially, they were nervous. It's a big change, but once they saw it in place and saw how effective it was, that wow factor disappeared, Ziegler said. Gloria Lawton, a resident at Stone Ridge Creek, said the community actually embraced the new staff members. The residents have decided to give them names, and it stuck. Okay, so it's these...
Well, they're given by the residents.
The residents named them Robbie and Stoney. You little rascals. Quote, we hardly expected to see something like this, but everybody has been receptive. The robots came to the facility and don't care. These days, Robbie and Stoney aren't the talks of the community anymore. They're just in the background doing their job. Quote, now we hardly see them. They're there. They're very functional. It's not a curiosity anymore, Lawton said. Instead, Lawton shifts the attention to Ziegler, expressing the community's appreciation for his commitment to their safety and happiness. Quote, I'm very proud of Zachary because he is on top of things, and during COVID, he's done such a fantastic job of keeping us all fed safely. He's the absolute best.
No, the quote is, he's absolutely the best.
Okay.
Let's be accurate about
the
greatness of another Z-man, Zachary Ziegler.
Ziegler's son. Zelenskyy, Zuckerberg.
Yeah, it's the World War Z, man.
The best. Right. So, we talk a lot about the social engineering aspects, the integration of robots into everyday life, and what a wonderful example of how it can be done. You've got a senior living facility, which this looks like a nice one, but more or less, these are people who are stuck in here. They're in a people zoo.
Yeah.
Okay. This is their life now. And their people zoo is now being staffed by robots. And of course, it sounds like they all had a little bit of a problem with that. But now they're there and they're very functional. It's not a curiosity anymore. They're just in the background doing their job. Complete successful normalization.
Yep.
And in this case, best case scenario, letting more human interaction happen. At least that's the utopia that we've been promised, is that these robots will make human-to-human connection easier and better and more fruitful. And I just wonder what the amount of time they are planning to let this happen. It takes one budget crunch in the dining room.
This is the robot Armageddon that can happen at this community center. It can be literally the end of their way of life. If they get used to
person.
It.
Yeah, they're used to it. They love those robots. They named the robots. Never name the robots, folks. That's how they get you. You don't name the robots. But, all it takes is budget crunch after budget crunch to replace one human with one robot that will be hardly noticed and even appreciated. And then, boom, there goes that essential human interaction that these seniors, is so important to a senior life. The loneliness and the contact, the lack of contact is really a problem in the sort of senior part of life. And they're going to have to get HuggyBot in there soon.
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed that we don't have time to really get into the Japanese robot that can peel bananas cleanly most of the time.
We can do it really quick. This is from Reuters.
Yeah.
Reuters, Japanese robot can peel bananas cleanly most of the time. Robots in Japan are found on blah, blah, blah. We got a robot that peels bananas. And while the dual-armed machine, double flippy, is only successful 57% of the time.
Now, I'm looking at the photo, and let me just briefly break this down because we're already over time. Did you know you can, you probably know this, you can open a banana much easier from the bottom side, not the stem. Yeah.
You copy the monkeys. The monkeys know how to do it.
Yeah,
they do it from the bottom.
Why is this robot trying to, maybe the 57% success rate is when they open the banana from the bottom
the
side.
Other end.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that funny? Yeah, it's this weird progression. You have them like apes and monkeys. They can open a banana from the bottom, and it's the easiest, best way to do it.
Yeah.
And then humans come along, and for some reason, humans see a handle, and we just want to use the handle. It doesn't matter if the handle is effective or not. You put a handle on something, a human is going to focus on the handle.
Yeah.
And that little handle at the top of the banana is the worst place to open the banana. And of course, in classic fashion, when we make a robot to peel a banana, we are still obsessed with that handle.
I'm a hand. Must grab handle.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So there you go. It's a bad robot that opens bananas just about half the time.
Yeah, this whole thing is bananas.
Nice.
Go to CanaryCry.Party if you want real bananas. Find the live stream, find the clips, email list, text notifications, Street Team posters, show notes, ways to connect with other Canarians, and how to become a producer.
Welcome to CanaryCry.Party. It's the place you wanna be. So stay. Welcome to CanaryCry. Gameplay, CanaryCry.Party.
That's right. Check out how fast I am, Gonz. Everybody go listen to Ravel. It's another podcast I do with Daddy Dr. Christopher Ryan Gates. We explore scripture, scandal, and society, not in that order. It's a great show. You're going to love it. We've got awesome guests, and we're late on the episode again. We got a new baby. There's a baby, okay? It's hard to do. But go check it out. Ravel, Ravel, on any podcast player. There's 2 Ravel podcasts. Mine is the good one. It's got my name on it, and it's good. Next, go to CanaryCry.Clips. The CanaryCry.Clips channel is there for you. It's on YouTube. It's on Odysee. It's chock-a-block full of small clips of the show, little bite-sized, shareable parts of the show. So you can review the show. You can get some essential information that maybe you want to share with somebody. It's a great thing. Go follow CanaryCry.Clips. YouTube, Odysee, go. And also sign up for our text alerts. You get a text message sent directly to your phone when we are about to go live. It's very cool. You're never going to miss a show again. It's awesome because, we're sort of like semi-shadow banned and notifications don't go out when we do stuff. So this is a great way to have a personal connection, a personal line straight to your best buddy Basil. I send out all the texts, and you can brag about how your favorite podcaster texts you 3 times a week. Text the word Canary to 877-740-3226. That's Canary to 877-740-3226. Boom.
We're taking things that are genetically modified organisms and we're injecting them in little kids' arms. We just shoot them right into the vein, right into the vein,
right into the vein, right into the vein.
Listen to that happy little lizard man.
Happy man. Well, he's not loved by many. This is storyful real quick. Hundreds protest Bill Gates' vaccine advocacy ahead of TED speech in Vancouver. This is a TED Talk. I don't know why they said TED speech. More recognizable if they say TED Talk. But hundreds of demonstrators gathered in Jackpool Plaza in Vancouver, Canada on Sunday, April 10th to protest against Bill Gates and his support for vaccination as Gates was set to speak at the TED conference in the city. And there's some footage of people screaming, arrest Bill Gates. Truckers, there you are.
How many people do you think there are?
The report says hundreds, but it could be in the thousands, and they're trying
That's
to.
That's quite the scene.
Yeah.
It's quite the scene. Did any pies fly? Do you see anybody holding pies?
Someone should bring back the pie and just.
It's about time.
They need to have the same
more pieing of Bill Gates.
They need to catch Bill with the same video angle, and then the same pie to the face, and then we can have the comparison.
Honestly, he spends millions of dollars on his PR team every single year. And this is a result of that, this TED Talk, as part of his PR comeback or whatever. If he needs to get some Gen Zs on there and stage another pie to the face situation.
Yeah.
Bill, hit me up.
Well, as much as people hate Bill Gates, he's happy apparently. He's a very, very happy man.
Well, it's certainly profitable for him to have us think that. Tell us more.
GQindia.com. GQindia.com. According to Bill Gates, you only need to do these.
Couldn't quite get on the U.S. Couldn't quite get on the U.S. GQ. Huh?
Yeah, they knew what would have followed with the U.S. crowd. But according to Bill Gates, you only need to do these 4 things to be happy. That's
Let me guess. Can I take a
4
guess
things.
before we read them?
Yeah, let's
All right,
hear.
I'm going to guess the 4 things.
Okay.
Have $100 billion. That helps.
Okay, yeah, it helps. I'm not saying that creates happiness, but go ahead.
I don't know. I'm not saying this. I'm saying this is what Bill Gates would say.
Yes, I know.
So have $100 billion, become completely unaccountable for crimes that you've committed over decades.
Very good.
Yeah,
yes,
that's a good one.
Yeah, well, if you have enough money, you can buy out. You can buy out whatever. So maybe those two are tied together.
Yeah.
But sure.
Well, they all sort of are.
Yeah.
In Bill Gates' world. Let me see. What else? Oh, I don't know. Have like a half a dozen mistresses over the past 10 years. That seems like something he brings him happiness, apparently. And Gonz, friendship is so important to happiness.
Yes.
So, have really good, rich friends who also have mistresses. I like that. And it helps when your good, rich friends have, private islands and private jets. And, you can go on little vacations with your good friends.
Right.
It's
good to unwind sometime. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, let's find out.
Right.
According to Bill Gates,
said.
The founder of Microsoft, a philanthropist and authority on technology, Bill Gates loves to share his wisdom with mere mortals. That's us, in parentheses. Okay.
Wow.
On Twitter and in Reddit Q&A sessions. Thanks to Bill Gates, we can enjoy his summer reading list, entrepreneurial tips, and movie recommendations. And now we also have his secrets to happiness.
Oh,
what is happiness? One internet definition describes it as a state of being fully satisfied, enjoying what is pleasing.
Wait. Did it really say one internet definition?
Yes, it does. It says one internet definition.
Good. Okay, just had to check.
Yeah, the internet definition describes it as a state of being fully satisfied, enjoying what is pleasing to the senses or morally good. Wikipedia's attempt to define the term includes this. Quote, the current experience of the feeling of an emotion, affect, such as pleasure or joy, or of a more general sense of emotional condition as a whole.
I think an intern wrote this article.
Okay, whatever. Okay, not enough setup. Let's get to the list. What are the 4 things, Bill Gates? Here's what the 80-year-old told us. Number 1, how to be happy according to Bill Gates. Keep your commitments.
Oh.
Okay. Kind of like if you say you're going to meet someone on a plane somewhere.
Yeah. Don't blow off your rich friends who planned a fun island vacation for both of you.
Yeah, by this, Gates means to do things with intention, set your mind to something and stick to it. Right. Do what you promise.
I wonder if he's considered his marriage in this.
Well,
keep your commitments.
I think this is what, committed to what you want. So if you want to do something, then go do it. Don't dwell on what if, especially if you feel you are in the wrong place.
Oh, really? That's what it says. That's in the article.
You must ask yourself the question, am I doing what I want to do? What matters most?
Right. So he's on that do what thou wilt.
Shall
be the whole of the law.
Crowleyan philosophy. Okay, very good.
Yes,
keep your commitments.
A Luciferian occult definition of happiness. Do whatever you want.
Okay, let's move on. Number 2, think about giving back. Not actually give back, just think about it, According to Gates,
it does feel good to just think about it sometimes. Maybe sometimes that's enough.
That is enough. You don't really need it's the thought that counts, right?
Because actually giving back is such a hassle.
Yeah, a lot of bureaucracy.
Who's got the time? So yes, imagine yourself being a good person is basically what he said.
According to Gates, when you give to others, you always get back a little more than you give. Being generous to others gives you a sense of satisfaction and generous to others gives you a sense, not an actual thing, but a sense of satisfaction and well-being. And there can be no happiness without that. Moreover, research has confirmed that being generous makes us feel happy and is good for our mental and physical health. Okay.
There's something, I know what he's saying, and like if anybody else was saying this, it would be nice. But the fact that he's the one saying this there's such a sinister, sort of diabolical twist to it that I am not appreciating.
Here's some money. Look, I'm human. See, I have feelings.
It's now satisfy me.
Right. Number 3, treat your body as a temple.
Oh, treat your body a temple to which god, Bill Gates? Who exactly is being worshipped in this temple of yours?
Oh, this is what it says. This does not mean that you should eliminate all your vices, but take care of yourself.
Of course
your
not.
Health and your physical condition. Exercise is great.
Do what thou wilt.
Yeah, feeling good is essential to being satisfied with your life and being happy. So treat your body with respect and have activities that help it to be in the best condition. Ooh.
Ah, jeez, it's so much grosser when it's coming from him. I don't like it.
Even short sessions can make a big difference. All right, let's move on. Moving on.
It does not say that.
It does not say that. I have the sentence highlighted.
This man is sick.
Even short sessions can make a big difference. Okay, last but not least.
What? I can't believe he said that. I can't believe they wrote that.
Set aside time. Let's move on. Set aside time for family and friends. No amount of work success can replace your family and human connections. They should be a priority, and you should set aside time for them. Make sure your personal relationships are healthy and good for you. Yeah, make sure your personal relationships are healthy and good for you. Is that a hint at like, my relationship with Melinda was not healthy for me.
It was bad for me.
Yeah.
But my relationship with my mistresses, my relationship with Epstein, those
were good.
Those really fed
they brought
my soul.
Happiness to me. So there you go. Follow these 4 steps and you too will be happy like Bill Gates.
Oh, wow. That was a blast, Gonz. Thank you. I had a lot of fun. That's maybe not the most important news story of the day, but I really needed that.
It's pertinent because, you know, especially if, they're really, Bill Gates' popularity is probably waning in the U.S., but it's probably still pretty high in other countries like India,
Maybe.
And if they're going to continue the infiltration here.
India, he actually has a lot of critics in India.
Really?
Because he's pulled his
vaccine,
he's pulled his sketchy vaccine stuff over there. Illegal, by the way, and sadistic vaccine experiments on unsuspecting villagers who have no power whatsoever to do anything about it. And he has a lot of criticizers, very popular ones. And this is just his PR team, just trying to build back his reputation better.
They even have this creepy photo of him in the article where he's kind of like in the shadow.
Back Bill better. Sorry, I had to say.
Build Bill back better.
Yeah.
Let's move on to some Elon. Oh,
yes.
Whoa. Come back here.
Whoa.
Here we go.
You are already sort of a cybernetic symbiote. Neural nets are taking over from regular programming. So you are connected.
You are connected. This is coming from the Washington Post. The headline, "In major reversal, Elon Musk won't join Twitter board after all."
Oh, the emotional roller coaster that is Elon. I can't keep up.
I didn't even know that this was an option, so it was nice to learn after it was too late. Elon Musk is not joining Twitter's board after all, a reversal following last week's revelation that he had become Twitter's largest shareholder and had received a subsequent appointment to the panel. Twitter CEO Parag Agrawal tweeted the news Sunday night, including a memo sent to his staff. Quote, "Elon's appointment to the board was to become officially effective on April 9th, but Elon shared that same morning he will no longer be joining the board," Agrawal wrote. "I believe this is for the best." Cool.
Thanks, Elon.
It's not even the "I believe this is for the best" was from the CEO. Yeah, I bet you do think this is for the best because Elon was just going to cause trouble for you and your bad platform. The surprise move came less than a week after Twitter had said the outspoken Tesla CEO would become a board member after he amassed a more than 9% stake in the social media company. But Twitter employees and others were agitated over the move, worrying Musk might wield outsized power to undo some moderation decisions that were made, including banning former President Donald Trump. Agrawal said the company will remain open to Musk's input, but he added, quote, the decisions we make and how we execute is in our hands, no one else's. And he urged staff to tune out distractions. Yes, spoken like a true cult leader. Twitter said it would not comment Monday beyond Agrawal's statement. Musk did not respond to a request for comment. He tweeted an emoji of a face with its hand over its mouth shortly after the news broke. That tweet appeared to have been deleted Monday, along with several others related to Twitter that followed his investment. Musk also liked a tweet reply to Twitter CEO that opined on how Musk's departure unfolded. Departure, okay, theorizing that Musk was told, quote, to play nice and not speak freely, despite his push for what he regarded as free speech. A financial filing by Musk on Monday reflected that he would not be joining the board and included language saying he would be free to, quote, express his views on social media about Twitter's business, products, and services to the board and management. The new filing said Musk held a 9.1% stake in Twitter, which is enormous. Sunday's announcement capped off an extraordinary and rapid series of events that began weeks ago when Agrawal said he first engaged with Musk in talks to join Twitter's board. Agrawal last week welcomed Musk, who he called a passionate believer in intense critic to Twitter, rather than fight off an infiltration from an outside activist. Musk had only months earlier tweeted a meme superimposing the Twitter CEO's face over that of a Soviet dictator, Joseph Stalin. Yeah, you gotta squash some beef after some moves like that.
That would be like, yeah. Anyway, I don't want to necessarily make any analogies, but I don't know. What do you think about this whole thing with Elon and Twitter? We did sort of quasi report it. We didn't really dig too deep into it, but
it broke at the end of one of our episodes. Well, there's. Let me read this part. Mush initially filed to become a passive investor in Twitter, documents revealed, but the next day paperwork was filed that would alter his status to become a board member. So that kind of answered our questions as far as like,
right. What kind
it seemed like he was going to be more of a passive guy. I mean, there's a difference when you buy that much of a company. You're not like suddenly the boss all of a sudden. It's all in the paperwork, baby. But I have a hard time believing that he's just disengaging. I think, obviously, he's a danger to the status quo of Twitter. I'm not saying he's some sort of hero of free speech or anything, but he's a rascal. He's a known rascal who's not afraid to get attention. Now, overall, is he like fighting for freedom all the time? No, he does it when it is good for his brand. I mean, his dealings with China, the least free speech, place in the world,
yes,
has been well documented, and is its own critique of his sort of persona. I think some sort of deal happened. I think somebody came to an agreement, and I think he wanted something that maybe we don't know about, and the threat was, I will join the board if you don't give me what I want. There also may have been paperwork of like, hey, you're on the board. You can't say anything bad about Twitter anymore. Like some sort of agreement in the paperwork. And he might be like, well, I want to do that. I don't know.
So, yeah. I don't know. It seems like in the long term, Elon wants. He's kind of like Trump. You know how Trump played the freedom card or like the restoration of America. He's riding that same wave of like American freedom and national, not exactly like super nationalism per se, but just this idea of a more sovereign type of situation. But you're right. His ties to China and everything else are very interesting. I just want to drop this because I don't know where else to really mention it. There's a project out there called Xi Protocol, XI, like Xi Jinping.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a protocol that it's like a Web3 thing. You can purchase the tokens and stake it and whatever. It's a crypto project. But here's the deal. They have a partnership with a thing called the Geometric Energy Corporation, GEM. And they are basically going to have a partnership with Doge 1, the mission to the moon. So you know how SpaceX is launching the Doge mission or whatever later this year?
Yeah.
So through this Xi protocol, you can actually have a display on the rocket ship of whatever, like your NFT or your whatever it is, can be on.
He was doing the advertisements in space.
Right. Yeah, that whole deal. And it's called Xi Protocol. Why is it Xi Protocol? Like Xi Jinping? I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's Xi is also in the Greek alphabet, but it's more fun to talk about China.
Yeah. Well, it is actually a Greek company that's doing the whole thing, but
actually in Greece, it's a Grecian company.
Yeah, I think some Greek-Grecan people. Yeah, but they do have a deal with SpaceX. They are part of, like, if you invest in this thing and do all the stuff that the technical things, you can have, like, we can have our Canary Cry logo or like one of our producers' art or something on display on the spaceship, and then somebody can see it and go to CanaryCry.Party.
The aliens. So the aliens can do it. This article ends with this very interesting detail.
Yeah.
Musk's board appointment limited his stake in the company at 14.9%, meaning if he was on the board, he cannot own more than 14.9% of the company.
Ooh.
Now that he will not have a board seat,
he's trying to take it all over.
He is free to continue to invest beyond that figure. Those limits are put in place to make sure that board members don't have more power than one another. That is sort of as equal of a board situation as you can, or at least you limit, how powerful any one board member can get. But without that, I mean, he could just keep buying it. Like, I purchased the whole thing eventually.
I think he wants to take over Twitter, literally, and to connect it to the whole SpaceX infrastructure, and have it be the social media platform of the future, of his future energy infrastructure.
Yeah,
because
he's so involved. I mean, I would never claim to have any good guess as to what he's thinking, because he's probably actually just some sort of robot that is controlled by an off-world hive mind that has more cognitive power than we could imagine. But it does. I mean, it's obviously a play. You don't know what the play is really, but it's a play. And the fact that he's the spaceman, he's the electric vehicle man, he's the tunnel guy, he's the flamethrower guy.
Man. He's the Antichrist.
He's getting everything, and communication is a very powerful industry for him to have some control over. And with that, I would like to let you know, Gonz, that Elon will never have a seat on the board of Canary Cry News Talk. I'm willing to die on that hill because we don't need his money, man. We don't need his money. That's why we have producers, and we're going to thank them now.
We don't need his money, as tears come out of your eyes.
I say yes with a quivering voice. And
I don't want your dirty
glimmer
cash.
Of doubt in my eye. He can produce the show if he wants, but he can't sit on the board. And so let's thank some of our producers now.
It's break time! Come on, take a break.
That's right. We're going to take a quick break, folks, but don't go anywhere after the break. We're diving right into some COVID news you're not going to want to miss. And remember, YouTube viewers, we're going to kick you out. So go find another place to watch the show, because Susan doesn't want to hear what we have to say about COVID. But before that, we are going to thank some producers. That's right, I said producers, because we are on the value for value model. No advertisements, no affiliate codes, no partnerships, no nothing, no Elon. We are completely independent. It's called the value for value model. We don't want to participate in the sort of dark, shadowy, all-consuming, never fulfilled, gaping maw that is advertising and the corporate lizard economic system of this world. Instead, we are entirely funded by producers. Who are they? They're you. They're people who get value from what we do. And when they get value, we encourage them. We invite them to realize more than anything that it is all of our responsibility, our personal responsibility, that if there is independent media that we find value to, that makes our lives better, that we, consume throughout the week, brings us sanity, brings us laughter, doesn't try to craft a worldview that benefits the most powerful beings on the planet at the expense of the rest of us. No, none of that. We're in this together. It's the Canary Cry family. And if you get any value, you're invited to become a producer. You can do that by heading on over to patreon.com/CCNT, or even better, CanaryCry.Radio.com/support. CanaryCry.Radio.com/support. Yeah, and I haven't really mentioned it recently, but over there at CanaryCry.Radio.com/support, you can support the show with your cryptocurrency. You can come in as a monthly producer, like nice set it and forget it. If you consistently get value from the show and you want to consistently help in keeping the show going, you can join up with a monthly thing. And that is actually extraordinarily important, especially in these days where day-to-day producership is not always guaranteed. It's our monthly producers who have really carried the load recently, and we appreciate that very much. But if commitment is not your thing, you can make a one-time producership in any amount. And Gonz, I have some good news for you, my friend.
Ooh, you do?
Yes. And this is the thing. I've said it before and I'll say it again. When producers produce the show, I'm not just grateful because it's, the way that we survive and that we're able to continue doing what we do, but I'm also very proud. I mean, it's a revolutionary act to support a show like this in the context of getting value and giving value. It goes against everything we've ever been taught about, economics, which is take as much as you possibly can and don't give a penny or an inch unless you are absolutely forced to. And in this case, we had 0 executive producers at the top of the show. And when people know that's why we're so transparent. We're as transparent as we possibly can be, because when that a heroic producer hears that, they come in and save the day. And we had 2 executive producers come in and save the day. Gonz, are you ready to thank them?
Yeah.
Executive producers.
That's right. Executive producers coming in, making it work. Can't do it without them. And our first executive producer that came in was, let me check. Well, the name on the thing is William S. Thank you very much, William S.
William Shakespeare, the first man to be jobbed, has now arrived.
Rocket Man.
Canary Cry News Talk executive producership. Thank you.
Parallel universe.
Yes, thank you, William S.
Where'd you find this?
That's right. William S. comes in with a nice, flat, round number, which means we're not going to read it. We always bend towards anonymity, and when you give us a nice, flat, round number, that signals to us that you do not care for us to share the amount. And so thank you very much, William S. We had another one come in, Gonz, and it's very important. Yes, I know. It's this day, everything's changed. And that executive producer is executive producer Hannah G.
Thank you, Hannah G.
Whee! Thank you very much, Hannah G. And Hannah G comes in the amount of $205.34.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Thank you. I don't know what that number means, but it means something.
205.34?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's 2.28 divided of our episode number. That's exactly what she meant.
Oh, that makes way more sense.
Yeah, just
Gonz.
multiply
Thank
her
you.
amount by 2.28888672444, and it's the episode number. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it makes sense now that I hear it out loud.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Hannah G.
Thank you, Hannah
again,
G.
being one of our heroes.
Where'd you find this?
That's right.
Yes.
Okay, let's just go straight to the other producers here.
Oh, okay, yep. Let's do it.
Here we go. We're going to start out with, actually, this one came in during last show.
Okay.
So I'm going to read it first. It was after the break, so we didn't get to read it. But this is producer Jonathan F.
Thank you, Jonathan F. Appreciate that.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Jonathan F. coming in for 3333 and fees. Yes.
Coming in producing multiple ways.
In multiple
Jonathan
ways. He's
F.
a very involved fella. And on top of that,
he's like
Jonathan
Bo Jackson.
He will be helping us out with some other stuff. I mean, he is a full-scale producer. Thank you very much,
Do you
Jonathan
know who Bo
F.
Jackson is?
No.
Okay.
Sportsman?
Yeah, he's a sportsman. He played multiple sports. That was the analogy. He's a baseball player. He played
like
football.
Michael Jordan.
Sure, but that was more of a less so with Michael Jordan. But sure, yeah. Okay.
That was a joke about how little I know about sports.
Yes.
Because I learned that from Space Jam.
Okay.
So, next up, we have Sir JC, Night of the Techno Squatch, on a 90-episode streak.
Woo!
1001. Amen.
That's right. He comes in with the 1001 and a note. Hope you guys are doing well. Gary, what day doth it be?
Gary, what day is it? Monday.
Slowly but surely sneaking up on streak 100.
Yep,
You're doing it.
go.
Steady pace, Sir JC. You're doing it. Next up, we've got Jackie U. Jackie U, we are continuing your streak. We are not counting Sunday's show against anybody's streak if they missed it. So, Jackie U, you're still on the train, 46 episodes in a row.
Ooh, okay, hold on. Here we go.
Yeah, she's on a streak.
Women rule.
That's right. She comes in with 1545 and a note. Hi, fellas. My streak's gone. No, it's not. More money is having to go to gas now. I know. Friday, Mom with a Sword and Shield and I had a 5-hour mini meetup. First IRL meeting. Together, we also had a Zoom call with a couple other Canarians. What amazing people, all caps. Jackie U. Thank you very much, Jackie U.
Yeah,
and what a wonderful thing. Yeah, we got a picture of it. Okay, good. Is that Mom with Sword and Shield, I'm assuming?
I think so,
and
yeah.
Jackie U.
Yeah.
Wonderful. My gosh. See, folks, the meetups, they can happen at any moment. And it's very important, as we learned from Bill Gates, to make time for friends.
Take Bill's advice.
Thank you, Jackie U. Next up, we've got James M.
James M.
Comes in with 1111 plus fees.
11.
And he sends a note here. D-Mooch. Says you guys are great. Yes, thank you. You're great too, James. Thank you for coming in, supporting the show, getting a D-Moochin'. We appreciate it very much. We have a Patreon supporter who came in, and that's Anison A.
Thank you, Anison A.
Yeah, Anison A signed up for the 511 level to support on a monthly basis. Thank you, Anison.
Thank you very much.
I did not see it. Next up, you know it, you love it. It's our kitty producer, Puddin22, is in the house. 11 on 11 plus fees.
11.
It's Monday, Gary.
Gary, what day is it? Monday.
What a real cat treat to listen to your show 2 days in a row. I'm shedding like crazy just thinking about it. Seriously, though, appreciate your dedication and loyalty to your peeps. Meow, meow, meow. Blessings, Puddin22. Meow, meow, meow to you. Thank you very much, Puddin22.
Thank you,
Glad to have you
Puddin22.
back on the list here.
I wonder if we're the first cross-species supported podcast with Puddin22,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. It used to be illegal, you know.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Cloud Serial comes in with 1133.
Ooh.
Says here, prayers to you fellows. I've been enjoying the voice messages from the Canarians with their lovely voices, as well as the celebrities with their rants and tirades. I'm entertained.
Are you not entertained?
Glad you are entertained. I am also entertained. And yes, we will see if we have any voice messages later on in the show.
Thank you very much, Cloud
Serial. Next up, we got Sir Scott Knight of Truth on a 131 episode streak.
Oh, yeah! Thank you so much.
And a simple note, hey, Gary, it's Monday.
Gary, what day is it? Monday. Monday. Monday.
That's right. And Sir Scott came in with the pocket full of sevens. Thank you, Sir Scott.
Sir Scott.
Boopy boop. Next up, we got more. 75 episode streak. That's right. 11. Thank you, Morph. Next up, we've got producer Anonymous as one of our crypto producers.
Ah, yes. I don't even know if I still have that crypto jingle because it's been so long since we've had the crypto.
Sure, you can figure it out.
Yeah, no, we
should have played it because actually Runk Smash a while back came in with some crypto.
Yeah,
not a while back. I mean, like yesterday.
What? Did he come in yesterday with?
Yeah, he came in with some Doge recently.
Oh, I thought that was today.
Oh, maybe it was. I don't know. Time is a flat circle.
Yeah, I meant to look for the jingle too because I was like, I don't see it on my little board here.
Well, if I could stall, if you want a second,
let me
find it.
Yeah, talk for
All right,
30 seconds.
Producer Anonymous came in with 23,172 Satoshis. For those who don't know, Satoshis is the smallest unit of Bitcoin possibly measured. And that comes in at a whopping $9 in Bitcoin, which we're very grateful for.
Here we go.
Because let's show them how we feel, Gonz.
Is this a crypto? Do I look like I know what a crypto is?
That's right. And can we do a quick little refresh? Because I think that concludes our list of financial producers who have supported the show in the amount of $7.77 or more, which is incorrect. We have one more, Gonz. We've got producer bot LX Protocol V2.
Ah, yes. Must be on a streak.
Yes, he's on an 18 episode streak.
Which means he is
on Supernova?
Supernova.
This is Charlie November Tango. You are approaching Supernova. Repeat, you are approaching Supernova.
You've done it, LX Protocol V2. Thank you very much for going Supernova. Okay, that concludes our list of producers who have come in above 777. But we got some more to thank, and we'll just breeze on through. Thank them right now, starting with Sir Casey the Shield Knight on a 100. Wait a second. Something has gone wrong.
Uh-oh.
Because Sir Scott and Sir Casey are exactly
10 apart.
10 apart.
So
So I'm just checking to make sure who is right, who is... Oh, yeah, I have no idea why that got off. But yeah, Sir Casey the Shield Knight is on a 141 episode streak.
Yes, they call him the street. Fastest thing on 2 feet.
He is the streak.
What is he is the streak? What is the next level of jingle? We need to put out the request early because we can't have another 133 debacle.
Yeah, it's going to have to be.
It seems like 142 is something.
Yeah, that's next episode, though, for Sir Casey.
Yeah, well, the jinglers
we can do
would have to get on
177
it.
because we minted 177 NFTs.
Well, we will do that, but that's too far away. We can't do that one. That's like a year's worth of shows. Let's do 3 months worth. Let's do 142, or we could do 144, like the
144,000. Yeah, that's not
all right.
bad.
That's
okay,
it. Jingle makers. The next streak level, we need a jingle in the next 3 episodes for 144 streak level.
Yes,
there's some inspiration.
144, just 100,000 times divided of 144,000.
Yeah. Wow. Your math is on point today. Next up, we've got the Streak Sisters, and we're going to start out with Veronica D on a 106 episode streak. Yeah. No, I lied. 107.
Yeah. Women roll. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Veronica D. I am realizing Veronica D came in.
Did we miss her? No, you know what it is? She came
something.
in. No, she came in last episode. We didn't write it on the document.
Right.
I had to add it in so yeah, it might not be in the old thing.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of a whoopsie daisies. Yes, here it is, because Veronica D came in again with a larger amount that has a note on it.
Oh.
Hold on. Sorry, we're going deep into the admin stuff. We just got to do it because she's the streaker. She's one of the Streak Sisters. We got to do everything. Oh, there it is. Okay. Nope, that wasn't it. Oh no.
Oh no.
Hold on. Here it is. Okay. Good job, Veronica D, for sending us a note and also telling us not to read this note. Okay, you're good. Your streak is maintained, Veronica D. All right, next up, we've got the other Streak sister, and that's Gail M.
Thank you, Gail M.
107 episodes in a row for Gail M.
Women roll.
Okay, and I'm going to take this opportunity real quick to remind everybody about Gail's Gratitude Grab Bag. And for those who don't know, maybe you're new to the show, Gail has been supporting the show for a long time. We've been through some hard life events with Gail. And during that time, I'm looking for something she had written out. The Canary Cry family was there to help her, pray for her, be there for her, give her comfort and friendship. But also, we completely blasted a GoFundMe out of the water for Gail because of when her brother passed and she was being sort of not treated very well by the VA, and life was just very difficult. And the Canary Cry family came together, and it was a beautiful moment in Canary Cry history. And in response, Gail started the Gail's Gratitude Grab Bag, which she is busy little bee, going around to, things like flea markets, thrift stores, stuff like that, finding awesome, unique, cool canary-themed objects. And once a week, 1 or 2 people are chosen to be the recipient of the Gail's Gratitude Grab Bag. And, there's plenty of ways that this could come about. But when you hear your name and you're called out and things happen and you're the recipient, you need to contact Gail to receive your delivery. And you can get that, get connected with her by emailing CanaryPeeps, PEEPS, CanaryPeeps at yahoo.com, and make sure to let her know who you are, and she'll be asking for your address and stuff, and she'll send you cool stuff. And it's all, gets a little bit of customization, and it's just a wonderful little token of gratitude for being a part of the community in general. And yes, there are some people who have not yet claimed their prizes. I will be sending you an email. But we do have a winner for last week, Gonz, and that winner is producer Ciara.
Awesome.
That's right.
Congratulations, Ciara.
So Ciara, go email CanaryPeeps at yahoo.com and get in touch with Gail. There you go, Gail. I hope I hit all the correct points there. But we're very grateful for your support and you're being part of the family. It's a lovely, lovely thing.
Thank you very much, Gail.
Okay, next up, next up, we've got producer Runk Smash, who is one of our crypto producers for the day.
Yeah.
Is this a crypto? Do I look like I know what a crypto is?
Mm-hmm. And he's on a streak. And I think it's a 20-episode streak. Yeah, thank you very much, Runk Smash.
All right, good job, Runk Smash.
And there you go. Okay, last but not least, we've got producer Sir James, Knight and Servant of the Lion of Judah, on a 75-episode streak.
Thank you very much.
That is correct. And that is it. Thank you to everyone who has supported the show financially today. It got a little spooky there for a second, but we all came through. We're going to be safe. We appreciate it very much. It is your show, and as long as the producers keep producing, the show will stick around. And thank you all for your patronage.
Shut up and take my money. Thank you for your patronage. Thank you for your patronage. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your patronage.
And
please leave a message after the tone.
At the tone, please record your message.
Leave a message. Beep.
Beep. Now remember, you go to CanaryCry.Newstalk.com. On the side of the page somewhere there's a big green bright tab. You click on that tab and you can leave us a message. Do whatever you want with it, man. It's not my responsibility, but you are agreeing to let us play it on the show, which we love doing, but it's not guaranteed. And today we didn't have any new voice messages.
No voice messages since we started doing this, I think.
I think, yeah.
Or at
I
least
think maybe there was one other episode early on that had 0 voice messages. But yeah, there you go. No voice messages. Don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, sad.
Haven't heard from Gene Hackman after all the attention I gave him last episode.
Yeah, that's tough.
Right. Yeah. All right, that is it.
Okay, well, let's wake up.
Yes, it's wake up time.
Hey, yo, wake up.
And let's say goodbye to our YouTube friend here.
Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure?
Twitch, Rumble, Odysee, Twitter, Facebook, whatever it is, you can find all those links at CanaryCry.Party as well.
Too hot for YouTube.
Fine. That's right.
YouTube, now you see me?